Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to this week's episode of Tuesday Preppers, where we take a look at the in-game news, see what kinds of content is coming out, and then talk about ways you can get ready for that content using in-game rewards and things you can go beat right now to get like killers and stuff for the various trials and stuff that we're facing. This week being the anniversary, we're going to do a little bit different format. We're going to talk a little bit more about some of the other stuff that's going on in addition to the trials, partially because there's really only a couple things going on. And also just because there's a lot of stuff that is not trials and challenges that's going on as well. Things that I think that are worth talking about. Yeah, there you go. So hopefully you are in for a little bit longer video, and maybe one that does not involve a clear video as well. This is mainly going to be talking a lot about stuff that's going on in the game. And what's be coming up our way on Thursday with the anniversary. So here you go. To go ahead and get the boring stuff out of the way, we are going to be getting some stuff. We got a story event coming on, the Fundamental Forces Orphan arc. This is the story of Richt, which is pretty cool. We got some new gear coming out. Blessed Warriors Robes, Blessed Warriors Pendant. This is pretty cool just because it does give mitigation for humans and reapers at the start of the battle, as well as some pretty high dark resistance for a free item. This is maybe less impressive, but it does give magic 50% true dual wield, which is pretty cool, as well as some dark resistance. And then we got some like a spirit items, sword and shield, and then a hat with 2 killers on it. So I think this is really, really cool, even though the attack and spirit is not that great on it. The fact that it has 2 killers at 50%, especially 2 killers that are going to be potentially useful for you against Clash of Wills this month. Pretty cool that this exists as a free reward. So I'm definitely excited about it. But as a global exclusive event, we don't really know what's coming in a story event. The only thing we can really expect is that the final boss is probably going to be tied to demons, humans, and fairies, just like the Clash of Wills is. Might not be that combination. It might be just demon or human. Could just be fairy. We don't know. We've never seen this event, so we'll see, but probably not going to be too difficult just because story events are not that hard in general. But we will talk about how to get those 3 killers tonight, because we know we need them for Clash of Wills, so that's kind of where we're going to be putting our focus. The same is also true about the EX fight that they mention here. The Oblivion Blade challenging the Almighty Ethne. Shows us that we get Lapis, NV tickets, EX coins, STMR tickets. Pretty cool, but we don't really know a whole lot about it because it's global exclusive. We know it's probably a human or a demon, possibly Reaper, just because this story does give a piece of gear that lets you resist damage against Reapers. Kind of makes me wonder if that might be tied to this fight. Maybe it's a Reaper, who knows? We don't know. We just got to kind of go with it. But again, this is probably not gonna be that hard, especially if it has no unit requirements or no series locks or anything like that. Take your strongest stuff and blow it up. So shouldn't be too hard. But there we go. We know we have those 2 pieces of content coming. The other thing we know we have coming is Clash of Wills. Obviously, we saw this in the Clash of Wills monthly bulletin. We now know a little bit more about it. It's this one right here, the Dark Swordswoman from Beyond, the Vestige of Ethne. So we know from reading right here and from the monthly bulletin, we have a human, demon, fairy. We know it's weak to light, ice, and dark. It's not weak to lice. Oh my gosh. Light, ice, and dark. We know a little bit more about its AI as well. It uses ice, wind, and light and non-elemental physical and magic attacks, boosts its own stats, inflicts sleep and paralysis, gives itself an area effect that boosts a lot of damage that it does. And then also, when you imbue yourself with ice, wind, or light, it's going to increase the morale for the party. So lots of things you can do, including a new skill that comes from the morale bar that does ice and light resistance at 150%. And then a new thing here, which is actually not new. We've had this before, but they're removing the turn limit for the clear, and just making it a morale value. When you finish the fight, you have to have more than 180% player morale. We had this before with the Thranithor fight, where like it had just had absurd morale generation at the late part of the fight. And so you just had to kind of combat that with filling your own morale as quickly as you could. and it didn't have a turn requirement. So last year's anniversary was kind of nutty, had this effect on it. I'm assuming it's going to be the same way with a really high morale fill for the boss at the last part of the fight. There you go. So Clash of Wills, we're getting some upgrades to the chainmail, which they mentioned on the live stream, which I'm sure you all saw. I'm personally planning on sticking with my ruler's chainmail just like I did before. But attack and magic 175, that's pretty gnarly. That's awesome. I'm excited about it. No changes here. Nothing really new to talk about other than that final morale value. So there you go. So in terms of just like the content, that's really what's coming out on Thursday. So, but in addition to the content, there's a bunch of other stuff that I'm going to pop up on screen here as best I can. And turn on this bigger picture so you can kind of see a little bit. There you go. So we have, Richt coming. Richt's got a step up, pretty typical premium step up. We know Richt is premium. We know now that Richt has attack in the base form and attack and debuffer in the shift form. And so there you go. He's got an STMR that's a sword. He's got a pretty nice TMR as well. It gives you killers for all 3 of the races for Clash of Wills for this month. So that's very nice. And then we know he's a damage dealer with a leader skill. He's also got a really big light amp, which is really awesome. But he's mainly just a DPS, and we don't really know a whole lot more about him other than the fact that he does damage. So hopefully he's good. Damage dealers are kind of my least favorite types of units to pull for just because they usually have a really low shelf life. It is what it is. But he's got a leader skill, pretty cool. He's also got some synergy with the new unit. And so here's the other new unit, Eternal Radiance Elena. Ibarra's on the banner too. And here's the banner. I do have some issues with this banner. I think there are some good things about it and some not so good things about it. One good thing about it is that Ibarra's here too. So if for some reason you did not pull for Ibarra, whether it was because of being on a budget or maybe you just didn't have the Lapis and you pulled with tickets and didn't get her, you now have another chance to get her. And she's on a step up with Elena with a vision card. And that's pretty cool, right? So maybe you're gonna get 2 for the price of 1. Me personally, I have EX2 Ibarra. I'm excited to potentially get a little bit more Ibarra so I can get my Ibarra to EX3 while I'm pulling for Elena. And I'll just, spoiler, I'm planning on pulling for Elena. Just because her leader skill is absurd. Yeah, so here's some bad things that I think about the banner. One is that the cost for pity usually is 48k. It's actually 50 in this instance. So the reason why that is, if you look on here on the banner, every step on the card step up gives you a token for exchange and a ticket. You need 10 tickets to get Neovision's Elena. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This step does not have a ticket, so we only have 5 by completing the card step up. You get 2 tokens instead of a token and a ticket. And then down here, here's number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you have to do 2.5 laps as opposed to just 2 in order to get the full pity for Elena. Now, I think that's a little disappointing because if you don't care about the card for one reason or another, you could just go here and just go to 45k as opposed to 50 and get the banner or get the pity. But if you want the card, you're gonna be paying 5k more. Now, is the card worth 5k? I would probably pay 5k for the card. It's frustrating that it's getting inflated compared to normal. Now, maybe it's inflated because Ibarra is on the banner as well. But it's still like, kind of crunchy, I'm not a huge fan. I don't love it. I on the one hand, like if I happen to pick up an Ibarra here, it's going to make mine EX3. So I'm really, really close. So I'm not too upset about it. But, people who already have EX3 Ibarra or who invested a lot of time into getting their EX3 Ibarra, probably not going to be too happy about this. But, for anybody else who didn't get any Ibarra, this is great. Potentially getting 2 really good Clash of Wills units on one banner. We don't know. Well, we don't know she's good. We assume she's good. She's the anniversary unit, so why wouldn't she be? Yeah. Cool. Fragments for both of them are in the shop. There you go. Elena's a mage and a magic tank in the base form, and a mage in the shift form. We know she's got 2 swords there, so we assume she's a true dual wield unit. We don't know if she has the 8x cap. We'll find out more about that when the banner, when the maintenance ends. Kind of cool. Interestingly, she gets her own vision card at EX1, which is like kind of okay, and then this other vision card, which is pretty good, at EX3. So instead of getting 2 of her own vision card, you get this one and then another one, which is a kind of a neat change. Never had this before. One-handed STMR as opposed to a 2-handed one, but it is a weapon. Kind of cool. And then we actually got a TMR that gives you 50% true dual wield spirit, which we don't have a whole lot of that in the game. So it's cool that we're finally getting it. It also gives true single wield spirit, or true double hand spirit rather. So it does both. So it's kind of cool. I'm glad we're getting this. And then Ibarra is not really getting a whole lot. She's getting an update, but we don't really know exactly what the update is, other than like, I think in the live stream they showed that her modifier was going up for her LB. We don't know if she's getting anything else, but still pretty cool. Upgrades are free. Who wouldn't turn down a free upgrade? So that's kind of my issue with the summon. I think it's, you know, it's more expensive than it needs to be to do the pity. But there you go. Honestly, Rick's vision card is absurdly good. This one, the battle with Ethne, is okay for any, you know, a non-premium unit. It does boost spirit by 500 for FFBE units, and it gives true double hand and true dual wield spirit. So it's got some nice utilities. Just the base stats on it are kind of meh. And then this one, you know, it's got attack and magic 100%. It gives true dual wield attack and magic 100% as well. Boost chain limit cap by 50%, which is kind of sad. And then 300 attack and magic. You know, kind of nice. This is Elena's EX3 card. And then this one. So this is the one that you get on the banner. 1000 HP, 135 attack. Not the greatest. Attack 100%, attack 500, fire and ice resistance 30. Okay. It's got the rolling fire ramp, so it probably goes up to 100%. Cool. Killer buff for demons, humans, and fairies at 100%. Obviously, you need better than that for Clash of Wills, but you know it is there. But my problem with it is that it does not have any magic on it. And so like a lot of times these cards that had these amps had magic on them. So this one's not going to be any good for Golbez or X-Death or Awakened Onion Knight. No meteor user are going to want to use this because it doesn't have MP or magic on it. It doesn't give you anything other than killers and fire amp. So I don't know. I mean, I do know because you'll see why in a minute. But I mean, it just I feel like it could be a little better. It is what it is. So there you go. Let's talk a little bit about the killers that you're going to need. For the week, we know we're going to be needing human and demon. As always, humans are a really big category that we can get a lot of good stuff for. Cross Aigayan Arm, Mask of Ashura gives human and demon killer, so if you don't have that, go pick it up now. Man-Eater Sense and Man-Eater Sense, the Elnath Trials, Man Killer Plus, Guy's Belt, Weapon Specialist, lots of good options for human killer, and always lots of good options for demon killer as well. Crucifying Coercion from Scorn of Ashura, you're already picking up the Mask of Ashura, so you might as well get that one too. Mask of Ashura is here as well, like I said, Demon Killer Plus, Demon Eater Sense, lots of good ones here. We've done a lot of these recently because we pretty much always have demons and humans on the weekly content for some reason. So we've talked about these a lot. Not too worried about it, but Fairy is one that's a little harder to come by. So Fairy or Spirit, there's really only a couple options. Spirit Eater Sense from the Gargantuan Grub in the Sand, Spirit Killer Plus, the Longinus from Scorn of the Lich, Fairy Eater Sense from Cerberus Advanced, also not that difficult. And then if you're really nutty, you'll go after a Catastrophe to get the recipe for Spirit Killer Plus. It's not easy. It's not like, depending on what you have, it's either gonna be a cakewalk or it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge. You know, it's got a lot going on. You've got a bunch of earth damage, you've got berserk, you've got instant death, you've got stone, you've just got a very bulky boss. You've got the fact that it is a fairy, which is very hard to gear for most people. So it's a lot to deal with. So maybe just focus on like Cerberus, Scorn of the Genies, Spirit Eater Sense. Don't forget though that Battle Intelligence, Blue Mage Dress from Blue Mage Fina, Shinsui Ryuken. Kaito also has Demon Killer and Spirit Killer in his kit, and he's a Clash of Wills unit. Obviously, you can see he can fill morale and deal morale-based damage. So, you know, potentially good unit there in Kaito in Clash of Wills. Even though his element does not line up, he still could potentially be very useful for you. So definitely go out there and get, you know, some Human Killer, some Spirit Killer, and some Demon Killer, because you're gonna need it. Now, in addition to all of that, we have a couple other really exciting things happening this week. If we take a quick back look here and go back to the events, we are getting a lot of updates. So we're getting updates to the adventurer rewards, the rookie panel quests. We're getting a bunch of anniversary summons. We're getting this player's voice summon. This is, you know, potentially contentious. I will tell you that between the three of them, my favorite picks are either going to be 1 or 3, depending on what, you know, how you like to play. If you're more conservative and want to just like guarantee that you're going to get something, you pretty much pick this one because it gives you a guaranteed Neo Visions every week. If you like to roll the dice a little bit, the better of the two options is this one, because you could potentially get Lapis out of the producer present tickets, or the bonus present tickets rather. And you have 30 summons at a 5% rate versus 20 summons at a 7% rate. So, you know, to me, it's either between playing conservatively right here or feeling like you're a little risky. I will probably personally be leaning at number 1. And then depending on how the voting is going, usually they tell us about halfway how it's going. I may change my vote to number 3 depending on how it's going. But you know, my initial reaction was when I first saw this in the live stream was number 1 was my personal choice. I see a lot of value in option number 3. I'm not going to tell you not to do it, but I think that 3 is definitely better than 2. There you go. So vote with your heart. Don't let me sway you. But like I said, I just feel like this is more conservative. This is a little more risky. There you go. We are also getting bundles and exchange shops and anniversary summons, tons and tons of them. Anniversary campaigns, including like 14,000 Lapis from the producer's present, and then a bunch of login Lapis and a bunch of good stuff here. Player appreciation summons. If you've been playing for, you know, several years, you're gonna be getting 18 of these tickets. I'm in that category myself. Free weekly 70 summons. You know, we're getting a ton of summons. So guaranteed in Neo Visions and yeah, lots of great stuff. So definitely log in every day, do all your stuff. I'm going to be recording my weekly 70s to put a video together for that. So that'll keep an eye out for that. I'll also probably be doing a week, my player appreciation summons on a video as well. So you'll get to see how those turn out for me. And then we get like daily keys and just all kinds of stuff. Yeah, just, you know, half energy, all chambers open. Like it's anniversary time. They throw a lot of stuff at us. So definitely log in every day and get all your free stuff and get all your free summons and things like that. Maintenance is gonna be pretty long. It goes until 8 a.m. Pacific time in the morning. So that is longer than usual. But that's okay. You know, just might slow people down a little bit. And there you go. I'm excited to see how the units kits turn out on Thursday. You know, usually on the Clash of Wills units, I stay up a little bit late and wait for the data mine to come out. But I know that the numbers can change at any moment, so you definitely got to keep it open with a grain of salt. You know, see how it's going. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see the units and see how they turn out, because I can tell you right now that we have a pull battle planned. So a couple of weeks ago, you know, Horatio, who has been helping out with a bunch of stuff in my Discord channel, has challenged me to a pole battle, and so we decided today that we're gonna go after Elena. We're gonna go after that card, and then do the rest of the pity, and see who gets the most Elenas, who gets the most Neos, see how our points shake out. And we'll be doing that live on Twitch on Thursday, 9 p.m. Central Time. He's staying up extra late, so definitely come out and cheer him on, because he's been an absolute hero for our channel lately. In our Discord, he's been really helpful. Lots of players have really been benefiting from his knowledge and wisdom. I certainly have as well. And he's just a really great person to kind of bounce ideas off of. So if you've never checked him out on YouTube, definitely do. He doesn't do a ton, but what he does is really good. And he's definitely been a big help to me and everybody in my Discord. So thank you so much, Horatio, for the challenge. I'm looking forward to it, and we're going to see how it goes live on Twitch. Beyond that, you know, it's anniversary time, so hopefully you're excited about the anniversary and all the stuff that's coming your way. Hopefully, you know, make some predictions about how many Neos I'm not going to get, but we'll see. I just hope I haven't burned up all my luck by going to the live stream and getting that jacket, as somebody just said the other day. So we'll see how it goes, but that's it for right now. So go out there and get you some demon, human, and fairy killer. You're definitely going to need it, gearing for a Clash of Wills that has those 3 races. Good luck to you, and we will see how it goes on Thursday at the pole battle. Because I'm doing the pole battle, I'm probably gonna do a lot of stuff on my own during the day if I can, story event and things like that. So definitely our focus is going to be the pole battle on Thursday. Hopefully you come out for it and cheer Horatio on. You know, I wouldn't mind your cheers too, but I have a feeling that Horatio is going to do better than me on this one. We'll see. Until then, you guys be good to each other, take care, and we will see you in the next video on Thursday.